Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Kelly, the TV voice of the St. Louis Blues. Welcome all media members and our live radio audience, special radio audience tonight, for a couple of very special announcements here from Scott Trade Center that I think will have a positive impact on this franchise for years to come, and I'm sure will be very beneficial to all Blues fans for many years to come. Without further ado, I would like to introduce the chairman of the St. Louis Blues, Mr. Dave Checketts.
Thank you very much for being here, and as John said, I think we have a couple of important and very special announcements. When we purchased this franchise almost a year ago, I stated at the time, we stated, that it was our intention to find a local partner, a local investor, someone with whom we could be very comfortable with. We wanted and set out to find someone who had a stellar reputation in the community, and most importantly, someone who was also a unabashed Blues fan. Well, I'm happy to say today, ladies and gentlemen, we have found that person. So please welcome me welcome us in welcoming Tom Stillman to the Blues family. Tom is the CEO and owner of Summit Distributing in Earth City. My partners, Ken Munoz and Mike McCarthy, and I have spent a lot of time getting to know him and have found him to be a person who shares our passion for this organization and our vision of bringing a Stanley Cup to St. Louis. So with no further ado, please welcome Tom Stillman. Tom?
Thank you very much, Dave. I am very excited to be here. I'll just make a few short remarks. This is a little bit like a dream come true to me. I'm a lifelong hockey lover. I grew up in Minnesota. I've been playing since I was a little boy 50 years ago. Played in college, still play old men's hockey today at 55 with 3 artificial joints. It's a little bit of a disease with me. I also love my hometown. I love the people here in St. Louis. I love living here, and I love the Blues. And now here I am getting the opportunity to get involved in the St. Louis Blues organization. And it really gets even better than that, because this is just a great time to be a Blues fan and to be part of the Blues organization. The team is really turning around. It's playing great. It has great young players, great prospects in the system, some great high draft choices coming up. And the city is talking about the Blues again. People are excited about it. There's a buzz around the Blues. And the reason for that, the big reason, is the people that you see up here. And that has given me a lot of comfort about getting involved. These are passionate people who are passionate about hockey, about St. Louis, and about bringing a Stanley Cup. And I'm doing this today because I believe in them and what they're doing and their abilities and their commitment. So I'm very excited to be part of the organization, and thank you very much, Dave.
Thank you, Tom, and welcome to the Blues family. I'd like to reintroduce Mr. Checketts, but before I do that, I think the next announcement is quite obvious, and all I will say is that there's a banner in Scott Trade Center here bearing my father's name, and I think somewhere in the heavens tonight, Dan Kelly is very pleased and very proud, and he would say, they shoot, they score.
Thank you, John. That was a great reminder. I think the theme is partnership for tonight. For months, we have been evaluating our options as it pertains to our radio partner for this team. Along the way, as we evaluated our many options, we found that there was significant interest from many outlets who wanted to be our radio partners. And I want to thank those who came forward and offered to be our partners. But in the end, ladies and gentlemen, we found the right partner. I'm happy to announce that we have signed a multi-year deal with KMOX, who will be our radio home for the St. Louis Blues starting next season. By partnering with KMOX, we're not only returning to our former radio home, but we are aligning ourselves with one of the most powerful stations in the nation, a station that is heard in an unprecedented 44 states as well as Canada. And quite simply, when you are trying to rebuild an audience and bring people back to being St. Louis Blues fans, I just could not be happier about any announcement. KMOX and everyone there has been sensational as we have been discussing this, and so now looking forward to being their partner and moving our radio play-by-play there next year. Someone involved from our side and very instrumental in these negotiations and this decision is Peter McLaughlin, and I want to turn a few minutes to Peter to tell you more about this. Peter?
Thank you, Dave. When Dave Checketts, Mike McCarthy, and Ken Munoz gave me the opportunity to come work for the St. Louis Blues this summer, I was given the mission to develop strong partnerships in this community, partnerships that would help the Blues with our impact and our reach throughout the St. Louis area, and partnerships that would help us to rebuild this wonderful brand that is the St. Louis Blues. We are very pleased today to partner now with KMOX, one of the revered brands in St. Louis, just a wonderful radio station, and we know it's going to be a wonderful partnership going forward. As part of our agreement with KMOX, they will broadcast all of our games, including a pregame show, postgame show, a Friday night hockey hour throughout the year. There'll be Sunday morning talk with Ron Jacober, and a great promotional partnership and great promotional announcements throughout the year on KMOX as well as their sister stations KEZK and Y98 to help get the word out about the Blues. We're really pleased to join this partnership with KMOX, and as we move forward, it'll be great to hear KMOX refer to themselves throughout the year as the home of the St. Louis Blues. Thank you to all of you for being here, and now I'd like to introduce the General Manager of KMOX, Mr. Dave Irvin.
Thank you, Peter. This is a proud moment for KMOX. I can say that on behalf of CBS Radio and KMOX Radio. We've had a long history with the Blues, and we have missed them. And this is just a terrific moment for us to get back into sports broadcasting. And we've gotten to know Peter very well in the last few months, and Dave Checketts, and there's no doubt that this team is well managed and is headed for great victories and has great momentum. And we want to be part of that. It's very important to us. So we're really grateful to you, Dave. Thank you very much for wanting to work with KMOX. It was very important to us, and to you too, Peter. We appreciate it. So we thank you for coming out tonight. I'd like to introduce you to two people from KMOX that you'll probably work with and see. Steve Moore is our Vice President of News Talk and Sports Programming down here. And Katie Pavlonis, our General Sales Manager with KMOX. So they are the people who make it happen for us. This is one of the proudest moments in my history with KMOX Radio, and we're going to give this full support, not only with KMOX, but across the CBS St. Louis Radio Group, which, as Dave mentioned, includes KEZK and Y98 Radio. So thank you.
I just wanted to thank you, Dave, and thank you, KMOX. This is going to be exciting. I wanted to introduce Mary Stillman and Anna and Isabel right here on the front row. Thank you for being here. I think I'll turn it back to you, John.